Hey, welcome back to episode 188 of the God and Guns God and Guns podcast. 188. Gosh,
I know, right?
crazy. I'm your host Troy, and
I'm your other host, Doug.
we use this podcast to talk about God, guns, the responsible Christian gun owner's interest. On this show, we'll be talking about what happens when you're in a divided country or a country divided. We're talking about Matthew 12:25, chapter 12, verse 25. So, bandwidth sponsor Firearms Radio Network. We appreciate their providing the bandwidth for our shows to be downloaded from iTunes.
Thank you, guys. Also, Crossbreed Holsters. If you're carrying a gun, you ought to be carrying in a Crossbreed. Check them out, crossbreedholsters.com. Carry the cross.
I put a note in here. Have you seen that Veritas series that Crossbreed's got?
Oh, the leather ones?
Yeah, I don't. It looks like Italian, so I would butcher it with my big thick tongue. But it's Sapientia edition. Sapit. Oh,
Yeah, we'll go with that.
could be Sapatnatia. But it is beautiful. It's for 1911. It's some kind of custom holster. They've only got like 100 of those. And I was looking through the site. I was looking at for an outside the waistband holster for carrying with like a chest rig or something, and carrying an outside the waistband holster for when the when the balloon goes up, having something I could access a little easier. And I ran across that. I was like, I didn't even know these guys did this, but it is a beautiful holster. Got a big cross on it.
It is. It's very pretty.
I'll put a link in the show notes if you guys want to know what we're talking about. But it's pretty crazy. It's beautiful. It's pricey. It's a little expensive, but I'm sure it's got a lot of labor in it. So
Yeah.
it doesn't look like anything simple. It looks like quite a bit of work involved there. Okay, so I rambled on long enough.
Detailed. It's detailed.
It is very detailed. It's very beautiful. Um, yeah, it's too pretty for me, but oh well. This week's God and Gun activities, Doug. What you been up to?
Let's see. God's side, I've been doing my Sportsman's Daily devotional, Words from Christ for Men, church on Sunday. The gun side, I've had a pretty good. Let's see, it's been what we missed last week because we were both. I mean, you were both out, and so I didn't do a whole lot last week. Saturday, I did get out into the woods a little bit, and we hung a few trail cameras and put a couple deer feeders out, getting ready for bow season start up here in a couple weeks. And so hung out a little bit doing that. And I finally, man, got to plink some squirrels. Squirrel season came in down here, so I took advantage of that. And we went and popped a few the other day, and there's that so much fun, man. It just brought back memories of being a kid again, man. My dad used to tell me after church on Sunday or Saturday morning, like, hey, why don't you go get some squirrels? And off me and my brother would go, we'd come back with dinner. So it was pretty cool getting out in the woods, get to shoot a few tree rats. That was a lot of fun. Tuesday night, I have a vendor buddy of mine for the hospital I work at. He's one of my distributors, and he had called me a couple weeks ago. He said, hey, I'm going to be in your area on the 23rd. He said, is it okay if I come by and show you a couple of the new things we got going on, and just visit for a few minutes? I'm like, yeah, man, come on. He said, if I come a day early and get there that evening, he said, you think we could go do some shooting that evening? I've been telling him to bring his stuff. Anytime he wanted to go shoot, we go to the range. I was like, yeah, man, come on. So he came in on Tuesday afternoon, and I got off work. I went and picked him up at the hotel, and me and him went up to the range, and he brought a couple guns. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these or not. He's got a Mossberg. It's let me make sure I get it right. It's a Mossberg MVP LC Light, I think is what it is, and it's like a precision match grade long distance gun, bolt action, and I'd never seen one. Didn't know Mossberg made anything like that. And that little thing shot nice. I was surprised. He had it in a 223. I'd probably buy it in a little bit bigger caliber if I got one. but it was a nice gun. So we shot his guns, and he had just bought a new Shield 45 and hadn't shot it, so we shot that some, and I took some of my guns out. I got to take the Kel-Tec out and play around with it a little bit. And as soon as he saw that thing, man, I had it laying on my gun bag, and it was folded. And I handed it to him. I said, "Here, check this one out." He's looking at it. He goes, "How do you shoot that thing?" So I unfolded it, put the mag in it, and he's like, "That is the craziest looking thing I've ever seen in my life." After about the first mag he shot through it, he's like, "Well, I told my wife I was pretty much done buying guns for a while, but apparently I'm not." I said, "Man, that thing is so much fun." But we had a good time. Of course, I'm getting ready for duck season, so I've been buying up some duck stuff. I found I put a link out on my page. Any duck hunters that are out there that listen to the show, there's a sporting goods place, Rogers Outdoors. I think they're out of Kansas. I think it's where they're out of. Anyway, they have blindside ammo, steel shot ammo. That's a hex shot, 3-inch magnums, number 2 shot. Normally Academy here in Georgia runs it. I don't know. You can catch it $25 a box, usually somewhere in that area. They were selling it the other day for $179 a case, which is 10 boxes. $179, and then no shipping and no tax, and it had a $50 mail-in rebate from Winchester. So that made it $12.90 a box. So I bought two cases. You could get 2 cases. So I bought my 2 cases, and I got them in there. The only thing is,
when do you buy her 2 cases?
She hasn't yet, but I'm pretty sure she's going to need some.
And the girls, they all need 2 cases.
Yeah, get a little bit more of it. So, but man, what a deal on that stuff. I've been talking to my buddy that's in the duck blind with me, and I said, for that kind of price, I said we could give away, anybody that books a hunt with us, we could give away the first box of shells on us for that kind of price. He's like, heck yeah, that would be kind of cool, but probably not, because I'm probably going to shoot them myself.
You give people free ammunition, they just blow it away anyway. So I don't know.
Oh yeah,
it ain't their ammo. Then it's like, oh, I didn't have to pay for this. I'll shoot 3 or 4 rounds of that duck.
Yeah, just waylay on him. Mm-hmm. But that's about it, man. What about you? What you been up to?
Church. I actually got to be in church again another week in a row. It's like a whole new world record for me.
What?
Yeah, I've got nice. It's nice. I've got guys helping out in security now, so they're watching the cameras for me, and of course I'm standby. But if anything happens, but no tweakers or no druggies or no crack pipes or nothing going on. No bath salts this week. We did have our usual druggies, so we're hanging around outside, and they're trying to hit people up for money. But it's sad. It's sad to see the situation their lives are in. This is, I guess, since it's been 2 weeks. A week ago, we did have a couple come in the church, and I intercepted them and talked to them, and they're about dead. I mean, the drugs just about killed them. It's sad to see that. And they've come to church on and off, and they're just hooked on that meth. They can't get off that stuff, and it's sad to see. I mean, when they first started showing up, they had a car and they had kids with them. Now they're walking around with a backpack and no car, and I didn't see kids. I'm assuming that the government took kids away. And just down and out. Just everything they get, they buy drugs with. So we feed them. We don't give them money to go get food, but we feed them, and we've fed them. I'll say that, and we've tried to help them get their life straightened out. But drugs are more important right now. So church security is going good. Got to do a training day coming up. I'm going to try to get some other guys in there. I've got people who are volunteered to help out on Wednesday nights for a Awana now, and we kicked off Awana last night, and whole pile of kids in there. We had 53 kids in our youth group, and so I'm going to be able to go back to youth as a assistant leader again, at least three nights a 3 nights a month on the Wednesday nights. So that's good. Looking forward to that. Got to go Sunday school Sunday and sit in with one of the other assistant teachers, and that was enjoyable. Cleaning guns. I've been cleaning a lot of guns lately. They set last 6 months pretty much in the safe, not getting enough attention. So I've been pulling them out, cleaning them, checking them for rust and all that. And it's got a dehumidifier, but I don't really trust it that much. Just checking them out, making sure everything's good. I mean, anytime you've got a safe in a bunker, you could have moisture problems. Underground bunker. So I've been reading and studying. I picked up a new reloading manual. Got the Hornady 10 manual.
Oh yeah.
I tell you, it's enjoyable. I've gotten really addicted to this reloading, and I've been bugging Mike over at Reloading Podcast this week about 25-aught 6 loads because I'm wanting to get a super high velocity Coyote load up, and I'm gonna hand load it and see how when I hit him. I think I'll be cleaning the hides and selling the hides after whacking them and stacking them. And I got my Axelson Tactical over my shoulder there. I got it out, was zeroing in the scope for the daytime, and still learning all the ins and outs of the nighttime stuff. I have not had a lot of time this summer to play with that, but I'm looking forward to the next month of being able to get out and shoot that more at night. And I've been talking to my Class 3 guy and working on a suppressor for it. I've been looking at Gemtech one suppressor, so you can use it on a 308. You can use it from 300 Win Mag down to 17 HMR. So it'll work for all those different calibers.
How much?
It's about, the retail MSRP thing is around 1,100. He's giving me a whole lot better deal than that. It's going to be sub 1,000. So looking at that, and they've got the quick adapter, so you can put the threaded muzzle flash on your rifle. Then you can just quick connect, locks on. So I can switch it out. I have one like on my 223, and I got one on my 308, and I could just switch them. Use the same suppressor for that. And I've been reading up on them. They look pretty good. They usually when you have something that much variety, the sound canceling them out is not as good. But everything I've read about them is really good. And so going to run that through the what do you call it, Doug? Not personally, but through my trust. Yeah, I'm brain farting here. So, getting old is not for wimps, man.
No, it's not.
But I thought I had traded for a Glock 29. It's like a brand new Glock 29. I think I had one magazine shot through it. People like the Glock 29 because it's small, and they think, oh, I can shoot 10 millimeter through that, and then they get it, and they're like, my gosh, that thing hurts. So if you're not used to shooting a high-powered 10 millimeter in a subcompact pistol, they come up on the market pretty quick, or pretty often. The trouble was that everybody else wanted as bad as I did, apparently. So it was. I mean, I thought I had the guy traded. He said, "Oh, I got another message." I was like, last I've heard of him.
Don't you hate that?
I was like, okay, I can come tomorrow. What time can I meet you? And he's like, okay. And he said, well, let me see. I get off from work, and then he goes, oh, I just got another message, and never heard another word. And then I checked back the next day. Oh, I sold it. Like, I'm sure you did. Jerk.
I need to tell Jeff Axelson. Actually, I think I sold him another rifle Tuesday. Mike was shooting. I had the Axelson Tactical up there, and I'm pretty sure that he's going to buy one. He was looking at it, and he was shooting it, and he was drooling, bad drooling. He's like, man, that thing is nice. And I told him, I said, just let me know. I know the man that makes them.
Yep. Yeah, I love mine. I put the offset. I grab it, but it's too much trouble at this point. I put the offset sights on it so I can rotate it over and still pick up something close with it with the 45-degree offset flip up sights. And then I've got that big old massive night vision and / day vision camera. It Wi-Fi's. It reads the weather. It calculates in the rotation of the Earth. I mean, it's pretty wild. I know about probably 5% of what the thing can do. I'm still reading on it, but I'm going to enjoy that here in the near future. All right, EDC check. What you got?
EDC check tonight. I have my Glock 19, and I actually have it. I have it sitting here on the desk. I already took it off, but I was wearing it earlier. I don't know if you can see it. My crossbreed holster, of course, yep. But this is the drop slide. So if you hadn't seen it, outside the waistband, nice holster, feels good. It carries good, and it just locks in there, man. So I've been toting this thing around a little bit. I had it out in the woods the other day wearing it, so it works really nice.
Yeah, I was looking at those today, and I was like, well, I might want to get one of those because, I mean, when I'm here on the farm, I wear it open carry, because it's my farm, so I carry
That's
on.
Right.
And most of the time around Magnolia and LaRue County, you're not going to have anybody Google eye you. So I wear it most of the time open or just leave my shirt, tucked in and leave it out where I can grab it. Yeah, I'm wearing a Glock 19 Gen 3. There's mine with the RMR and the Surefire XC1 light. And cleaned her up real good last week, and I cleaned again this week. The thing about carrying concealed is you get a lot of dust on especially if you got an optic, a lot of dust on your RMR. I mean, it really builds up quick. So I have to clean that thing like every night when I go to bed. I have to take a microfiber, a little squirt of window cleaner and clean that lens off because it'll pick up a lot of dead skin and dust and lint off your clothing and just atmospheric dust and all that stuff. But cleaned it up and frog lubed it and put it back in the holster. Got a backup AR-15 pistol. That's my buddy right there. And
Little Puff.
And I got a chest rig over here. I might do a review on. It's got 3 AR-15 mags and 2 Glock mags. And you just throw it over your shoulders, and it's got one clips in. It fits me, so it's already a winner in my book. But I'm all practice with it, walking around, seeing if it's gonna be comfortable or not. It's got it. It will adjust a tremendous amount to go over my shoulders and chest. It will expand down really small, or it will, it can come way out. It's very secure. It doesn't move around, and it doesn't seem to have any pressure points that I've noticed yet. I put some 40-round mags in to see how it would do, and they carried them too. It didn't really seem to matter. I was worried maybe that the mags would interfere with me moving my arms around, and they haven't so far. So the only thing I noticed is that my chest pocket where I carry my phone in is obstructed. So I'm going to have to think of something else, somewhere else to carry a phone. Well, if I wear that thing, of course I don't plan on wearing it all the time or anything.
But how big a barrel did you put on your AR pistol that you built?
It's a 10-inch.
Oh, you got a 10-inch.
Yeah, because ballistics, if you're going to try to reach at anything, you get down below 10 inches, you lose a lot of powder burn, and so you lose a lot of velocity, on that 223 round. So that's why I went with the 10-inch. I'd like to get it for puff. I'd like to have a 12-inch barrel for puff. I think it would perform a lot better. But as of yet, I've talked to the guys over at HK PartsNet. about getting a 12-inch barrel for the PTR and PTR PDW, because it comes with 8.5, because it throws so much powder into the suppressor. I know that our buddies down at Atlas Defense, they not Atlas Defense, Atlas is Atlas Defense.
Yeah.
Okay. They said that theirs could handle 8.5-inch powder being thrown in there and burning, but everyone else I'm reading, they don't want to put a can on anything less than 12 inches on 308, just because of the amount of powder. They're just worried about it turning into grenade or superheating, and so I don't know. We'll see. I don't think I'll put on my full size HK91. Gosh, I'm sounding like an old man again. All right.
I took my little puff with me up to the range Tuesday and was shooting, and I had my steel plate sitting out at 100 yards and just wearing it out. I got that little Bushnell was TRS 25, little red dot on it, and 100 yards, man, ping ping, just wearing it out.
Oh yeah.
I've
got the TRs. Nice. I got the TR, the same. I picked it up on Devore for chump change, man. It was cheap, and I've got that on that Ruger 1022 that you traded me.
Oh yeah,
I love it, man. It sits down there nice, and it's got a low profile to it. It sits right down there, and I throw it in the bag and keep the bag. Pitch it in the truck anytime I go anywhere. A couple of those big 25 round Ruger mags. I think I've got like 4 in there, and so that's just a fun little gun to have. It's great for groundhogs or anything you run up on.
We were having fun. We got into a little competition. A lot of times when I go up the range, I'll take a box of clay pigeons, and I'll just throw them all over the berm, just spread them out. We'll just sit back and pick out targets and zap at them. And this time I didn't have any, but there was a lot of remnants laying on the berm, of where we'd shot them before. Yeah. So we pick out a target. It's like, okay, little bush right above the steel target, just to the left, see the orange piece. And we were shooting pieces of clay pigeon that were probably that big and disintegrating them, man. I had that Axelson, and he was using that Mossberg MVP, and he had a big old scope on it and stuff. And I had my Axelson, and I set it up on a little brace and just laid back on it. And I got a Burris, what is it? TAC 30, I think it is.
Yeah.
That I put on there, and man, I love that scope. That thing is nice. It's only a 4-power, but it works great. It's got dots in it, mil dots. Once you get it sighted at 100, you can reach on out to 600 yards with it, and no problem shooting clay pigeons. I promise you that.
Cool. All right, so you got a joke for us?
I do got a joke. It's a pretty good one. I decided to go back to picking on lawyers again for a little while. So this one is the defense lawyer good news. I have good news and I have bad news. The defense lawyer tells his client. What's the bad news? The lawyer says, your blood matches the DNA found at the murder scene. Dang it, cries the client. What's the good news? Well, the lawyer says, your cholesterol is down to 140.
That'd be $1,000.
Gotta take the good with the bad.
Yeah. That reminds me, we got a joke. Someone sent me, I don't know if it was through Facebook or Messenger or something. It was a meme, and it was
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, Chuck Norris. Did you see it? It was
about the eclipse.
Yeah, the eclipse. It was, what was it? It was the eclipse. Is afraid to look at Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is afraid to look at Eclipse. Eclipse is afraid to look at Chuck Norris.
We need to do
something along those lines. Yeah, it's hard to find a Chuck Norris joke we haven't told, or any clean joke for that matter. I think we've wore them all out. The trouble was we used to do like 3 or 4 a week, and then we used up all the good ones too early.
Yeah.
Had we known we'd still be here this long.
I know.
We would have spaced them out a little more.
Hey, Chad still hooks me up though, and sends me some. He sends me some jokes. He sent me one the other day, but I found that lawyer one. I thought that was pretty funny, so I
Yeah.
figured I'd throw that one out tonight.
At least it's clean. Or
Yeah.
All right, so I didn't have any listener feedback. I forgot to get any look over at iTunes. I just never think to look over there anymore. I'm sure we probably got something over there. We go check it once in a while. But if you guys haven't sent a good iTunes review, please do. You Canadian guys, check yourself on that. All right, so we'll jump on over to the Bible verse. I know we had some feedback. I'm just trying. I couldn't find it right before the show, and I should have flagged it. Let me look here real quick on my email. You got anything else you want to talk about while I'm digging through my email?
I don't have any feedback, but let's see.
My flagged mail. Let's see.
I did have a good day at the range Tuesday though. That was a lot of fun. It's man, it was hot though. Woo, man, we were out there and something. I don't know what it is. If you see me squirming in the chair, you'll know that that's what it is because I'm scratching my back. Something bit me right in the back, and stung me. Something I don't know. I got a welt about that big around still from Tuesday, and I told my wife, I said, man, scratch that spot. It's about to itch me to death. And of course, she saw it. She's like, "Ooh, you might need to go to the doctor." I'm like, "No, no doctor. Sorry."
I got bit by some spiders here last. I think my dad, Audrey, my youngest daughter, she got bit by a spider, and I got bit by a spider. And I'd sprayed around the house when spring broke out and all the bugs started crawling. Sprayed around the house real good, around all the doors and stuff, and they disappeared. I mean, I didn't see them. And then we were gone most of the summer on and off. And this last week, I know spiders are everywhere again. So we got to go around and spray again. But I've got bit by spiders, and all my bee stings have finally healed up. I think we talked about that last time I was on here. I had 9 bumblebee stings that are finally healed. I didn't find that any email. I know that we got some kind of feedback. I know we've had a prayer request for our buddy Mike, and I've been praying for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Did he send you one too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I know that he had an urgent prayer request, and we've been praying for him. And I don't know. This is Mike out in, was he Oregon or Washington State? I can't remember which state he's in. He's up northwest, and sent out a prayer request. So I hope all is well with him. I have not heard back since his request, so I'm hoping that everything is well. I'm praying that everything is well. All right, we're going to jump on over to the Bible verse. And the Bible verse is going to lead us into our main topic today. And of course, with what's going on all over the country, it's going to be apparent. And of course, the title of the show. The Bible verse is Matthew 12, verse 25. Every kingdom divided against itself is laid to waste, and no city or house divided against itself will stand. Now, this was Jesus's answer to those who were trying to trick him into saying something, trying to get him to say, where's he getting his power from? Is where the actual context of this verse comes from. And he knows what they're trying to do. And so he says, if I was of Satan, if my power came from Satan, why would I preach against Satan? Because a house divided against itself would be laid to waste. No city or house divided is going to stand. So he can't be from Satan because he preaches against Satan's ways, the evil one, right? He's always preaching and honoring God in his words, his actions, and everything he did on the earth was to honor his Father. And so if he's honoring his Father, he couldn't be getting his power from the devil, as the Pharisees were trying to lure him into some kind of a trap or trying to accuse him publicly of getting his power from somewhere else. Same thing today, forward, 2,000 plus years, and we still have people that are trying to set traps for believers and trying to say that they're, doing things that are hate and evil, when we're just saying what the Word of God says. We're just behaving holy as we're called to do as a believer, We're called to be righteous before God, and we're called to live a life holy and acceptable. Not that we can do it under our own power, and not that we're holier than thou, but that we're called to holiness as a believer. And so we see what happened in Charlottesville and what happened in Boston and what's happening everywhere that these agitators show up on buses and start these fake. Well, I think they're fake because they're all coming in on the same buses. If you look into it, this spontaneous, from the sources that I've been reading, from the news reports I've been checking out and finding, the leader of this so-called religious alt-right group was a Hillary Clinton supporter all the way up until November of 2016 down in Charlottesville, where then he became this leader of this white supremacist group of some sort, which I never had heard of before. Not that I follow that kind of genre, but it's here all of a sudden sprung up, and then it's in a democratically run mayor, town, and state that this clash occurs. And from a lot of the complaints about the local police department, were saying, hey, we were told to lead them in there together and back out and let it go. So it looks like Russia didn't work so far. And so plan B is to stir up the race war that was started under Obama to begin with, to try to divide this nation. And so we can look back at all of history, and it repeats itself, people. If you study history, if you read the Bible, you'll see that anytime that a nation is divided, it's the tool of the devil, right? It's the tool of the devil. It's his way to turn us against each other, to make us fight and divide us along whatever lines, be it socioeconomic, be it skin color, be it what part of the country you live in, be it Christians and Jews, be it Muslims and Christians, be it whatever. There's always that seeking to divide us as a people so they can conquer us. Because if we're united as Americans who respect the Constitution and the laws of the land that give us equal rights, we're not supposed to have unequal rights. We're supposed to have equal rights under the law. And you see all these different people groups staking out their claim that they should be some kind of higher on the list or lower on the list. I don't know, whatever. When you see that happening, they're seeking to create division. And so America, all of a sudden you get really loud. Wow.
I did?
Yeah, that was weird. But all of a sudden, all this race stuff comes up again. I mean, it was bad in the 60s. I can remember in the 70s in high school when I was going to Hart County High School before I moved up to LaRue County. There was race fights there. I can remember, and I had no bone to pick on either side. I mean, it was, I remember walking down the hallway and the whites were on one side and the blacks were on the other. I'm a freshman at that time. And I remember the guys I played football with, half the football team was on the right side and half the football team was on the left side. You know, we all played football together, but they were going to fight it out over race. I don't know where it came from. I don't know what started it. It was just all of a sudden it was a big thing. And my black friends, Greg Wagner's over on the one side, and he was saying, he turned to me and said, which side are you on? I said, I'm on that side over there where that door is because I'm going to class. I said, I have nothing to do with either part of this, and just walked on, and he started laughing, and I just kept on going. And it wasn't 20 seconds after I got through that door, the police came in, started locking people up, running kids out, and it was a mess. And for what? I don't understand what the big deal was. I don't remember. I mean, I know that my grandparents had said things and that could be taken as racist, and it was just, you know, living in Kentucky and growing up whenever they grew up, that was just that culture. It wasn't that they hated anybody. It wasn't that they had friends that were black. It was just, you heard those words when you was a kid and you're like, well, why do you say that? You know? And I don't understand it. I grew up with black kids in my class. I had black kids that were friends with mine. I had white kids that were awful and mean, a lot worse than anybody else that I had a friend of, and skin color. It's just, I never understood that struggle, and not having, I'm not black, so I can't say that, there was not discrimination, and everyone has their biases, and I'm probably not 100% unbiased. But what is going on is it's a spiritual war, and in America, it's a political war, and so they're using these different uh, race groups or socioeconomic groups to clash against each other for another purpose. Jump here, Doug. Don't let me dominate. It's not a monologue.
No,
Do
no,
you
no.
see this happening?
Oh, yeah. I'm sitting here looking, and our friend Doug Schultz is on was chatting with me there just a second ago and talked to him. But he sent me a message yesterday, which I hadn't seen it. It was a college. Oh man, Doug, if you're listening, type it in. Tell me where it was at. I can't remember where it was at, but it had a chapel on the college campus, and the Gospel Channel had put this out. They were having a call for people to post it on Facebook, post it wherever, to protest this. But a family in 1956 had built this chapel on this college campus for people to go pray, worship, and one group of people decided that they needed to cut the cross off of the steeple on the top of the church, because it was racist, and they wanted all the Bibles taken out of it, and the college caved to them and was going to let them do it. So all these people were getting together, banding together, so they couldn't tear down this historic building, a beautiful building. I mean, the Gospel Channel guys that were on there went inside and showed the church, and man, it was a beautiful building sitting right down in the middle. And the reason the college caved is not because they really wanted to, but these people threatened to sue them if they didn't get rid of it. They were claiming, separation of church and state, which
on a college campus.
On a college campus, yep. And
most colleges, almost all the Ivy League colleges were started by religious people. I mean, right. Almost all of them were started by religious people. They were not started by the state. And so for these states to come in and claim ownership of them, it's ridiculous.
Oh, it's ridiculous. So these people, they're just haters. You like your internet buddies, you always call trolls. The 20 or 30 of them that hated it, threatened to sue, and the college, doesn't want to get into a long drawn out battle and spend a lot of money, so they're going to cave to them. But it's ridiculous. It's just like all the stuff with the statues, the Civil War statues, people tearing them down and stuff now because they say, they represent hate and stuff. Man, that's our history for this country.
Right.
I'm from Kentucky. We was on the side that won. I live in Georgia. I could care less about Robert E. Lee statue. They're talking about, we got a governor that's trying to run for the governorship of Georgia right now. I don't know if you've ever been by Stone Mountain and saw the carving on the wall.
I went and watched the laser show. That is cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool. Well, this governor or the person that's trying to run for governor, their main thing is as soon as they get elected, they're going to have all that taken off of Stone Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
For what? I was watching another one today. You're going to like this one. A football game next weekend was going to be played in, where was the riots at this past week? Charleston or
Boston was last week.
Not Boston, the big one, where the Nazis and stuff, all that nonsense was going on. Where was that at? You said it. You said it a while ago. Charlottesville. So the college up there, this guy was going to work for ESPN, was going to be commentating that football game.
Oh yeah.
Did you see this?
I heard about that. I heard about the day.
The guy's name is Robert E. Lee. He's Asian.
Yeah.
His last name is Lee. And they felt that his life would be in danger because he represented Robert E. Lee, the Confederate general.
who died 200 or 100 something years ago.
Exactly. So
40 years ago.
ESPN pulled him off of that and put him on another football game someplace else where they felt that it wouldn't cause any racial tension or hurt anybody's feelings. I'm like, oh my goodness, you got to be kidding me.
People riot over anything now. Their emotions are more valuable than history, more valuable than truth, more valuable than whatever is going on. Snowflakes are winning. It's all become snowflakes, and then we're offended by everything, right?
I told somebody the other day that if you got offended by statues of a Confederate general, which you weren't even around when that was done, but that's somebody's heritage. I don't care who it is. That's somebody's heritage. If you took stuff down because it offended you or whatever, we should go around and take down all the statues, tear down all the libraries for all the presidents that we didn't agree with over the years, because most presidents won by what, 52% of the vote. So that means 48% of the people didn't like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my feelings are hurt because I didn't vote for that person, and he's got a statue, or he's got this, or he's got a library.
The level of immaturity of people, astounds me. I can't fathom how you can be that ignorant. I don't think they can. I think it's just part of the. Let's just go on. I got some little key points in here that I put in, so I won't get myself too far down the trail. But we see these same kind of things where they pit one group against another. Every time they want to take over a country, they pit one group against another. It happened in Germany, it happened in Russia, it happened everywhere where you got an evil group that wants to come in and try to take over power from the ruling party, whatever it is, or the people that are running the country. They pit different groups against them, dividing their power and thus weakening them so they can be taken over. Communism. You look at everywhere where communism or socialism has began and has progressed, it has taken over and ruined countries. Venezuela, it was a Labor Party guy comes in there and he's going to get people better this and better that, and now they're eating pets and zoo animals and trying to get out of the country to other countries and around them because they're starving to death. The leaders, assassinating those who are trying to get rid of him because he's. I think that Maduro, other than he's got a great name because I like Maduro cigars, but Maduro, I think he was a truck driver. Not to insult truck drivers, I'm not saying anything's wrong with truck drivers, but I think he was a truck driver. He was a friend of Hugo Chavez, who took over when Hugo died from brain cancer, if my memory serves me right. And I'm not saying a truck driver can't run a country. I'm just saying that I don't think this guy is the one to run the country because he is dyed in the wool communist. He's down there trying to visit with the Castro brothers and stuff. And, well, one of them's dead, but trying to visit with the remnants of the communists left in Cuba last week. I mean, just look what has happened to that country. It was a very wealthy nation. I know that, probably there was a lot of very, very rich and very, very poor, like everything, but they did have a middle class at one point in time. They don't have that now. They have like 1% rich and the rest of them are all starving to death because they brought in socialism, which always turns into communism. And they took over all the companies. They took over the farms. They took over all the oil wells, and now everybody's starving, but the fat guy at the top. Same, you look at Kim Jong Un, baby fat, whatever boy is over there. He's the same thing. I mean, everybody's starving, but the leaders. You look at the generals; they're all well fed, but the ones in. So you see this over and over and over again. You come in and pit the parties against each other, bring the labor people that are working for wages and pit them against the ones that have any kind of a business, take over the businesses, and then everybody's equally miserable or starving to death. That's what they've got our eyes on for here in America. You've got those groups, the communists, the socialists, the gay lesbian groups, the Islamic groups, all coming together to try to tear down from every which direction so they can take over. And it's whether the Islamic guys are going to get here and start Sharia law and beheading Christians first, or is it going to be the communists going to take over and everybody's going to be poor inside of 2-3 years, kind of thing? Because, guys, make no mistake, this whole shenanigans going on, it was set up so they can start taking away your rights, the right to free speech. They're going to take away their right to be able to go and for us to protest, for us to have a redress of our grievances before our representatives, because, we can't allow that to happen. We can't allow them to have, because look what happens. People get killed and run over by a 20-year-old driving a car like a NASCAR driver through a bunch of people that were allowed to be thrown together in a big cabal. So that's somehow my fault here in Kentucky, where I'm not starting any problem. Your fault there in Georgia, where you're not starting any problem. We somehow are going to lose our rights to have guns or have the right to free speech, be it through internet, be it through telephone, emails, standing on a street corner. That's the path they're on. And you remember, communists and these leftists, they look at the long game. They're trying to reprogram your children to think that they should be triggered by everything, that everything is they have a right to things that they haven't earned because of being born in America. Doesn't give you any other rights than anyone else under the Constitution. No matter what you choose to do with your body, or what color your skin is, or what your economic position is, you all have the same right to attain to the highest position you can attain to under the law. Doesn't give you the right to go beyond that, right? Mm-hmm. So don't give in to your sin nature. I admit we all have prejudices, and when we see things that are presented to us in packaged form by the mainstream media, they package it to try to get an emotional response from you. These Facebook groups that somehow always send me feeds that I never subscribe to, that try to trigger you to respond and like or comment on something that's racist, whether it's black racist comments or white racist comments or Jewish racist comments, whatever it is, they're trying to manipulate you. It is purposeful. It's trying to get you to react emotionally, not logically, not thinking about the long term. It's going to get you to respond that sin nature, that gut level, that emotional response. So don't give into that sin nature. Don't sink to the level of those people who are trying to stir this up. Again, I say that this Antifa and this KKK rally fight, I think it's all got its roots in the Democratic Party, the leftist party. George Soros is funding the whole thing on both sides. Realize what you're dealing with there. Don't let them manipulate you. Stay rooted in the truth. And so what can we do? Come on here, Doug. No, you got something to say? I can hear you.
No, I was just...
You good?
Well, I was listening to what you were talking about, the Antifa and the Nazis. The media now is portraying all this nonsense. The communist stuff is not Russian. The Russian probe is not working out for them. So they got to figure out something else to do. To me, Democrats.
How you bring Trump in there and blame him for that garbage that happened in a democratically run state, democratically run city, with groups that he has no ties to on either side? Or you got to really be reaching far for that and blame it on Trump.
Well, they do. I mean, they got to reach for something. They can't blame it on themselves. So they got to pick something. And now if you're a conservative person and you are a Trump fan, well, now you're a Nazi. We were just racist before, but now we're Nazis and we're racist.
Well, so I mean, okay, so let's take the word Nazi. The original word Nazi comes from Nazi Germany, the National Socialist People's Party. Okay, socialist people. It's a workers group in Germany, and they were created by Hitler and some others under the socialism, fairness to divide the people of Germany, to unite behind this group. That's fascism, and that is what Antifa is. They're fascist. They want to come in and take over and redistribute wealth and have their own little special parties. And to say that conservatives are fascist is about as 180 degrees out of phase as you can get, because
have you
conservatives are about individual freedom. Conservatism is about individual freedom, individual rugged people who take care of themselves. Fascists are about grouping together people for a common cause to overthrow government. So they should be called the Antifa or whatever, because they're 100% opposite of that. On the other hand, if this was KKK, I'm not defending KKK in any way, guys. It's just as wrong as Antifa. It again has its roots in the Democratic Party. The KKK was the strong arm of the Democratic Party in the late 1800s, all the way up until the 1960s, where Senator Byrd was a grand wizard, grand
poopah or whatever it was.
Grand poopah, whatever it is. But that all had its roots in the Democratic Party. Again, leftist. Again, socialist. Again, people trying to control people using the racist element of the Democratic Party to threaten people and to kill people. Had nothing to do with conservative Republicans. Conservative Republicans are those that went down and marched with the blacks in Selma and all these places. There was a great video that our buddy Celtic Chad at Celtic posted up today. Oh man, I wish I had the link in front of me. But if you guys know Chad, it's Celtic. Check out the video. It was from the pastor at. I just bought my computer. Sorry. Great video. Talks about Charlottesville from a Christian perspective, and the preacher is drawing a blank. I got a bunch of these books. Maybe I can look over here and see Maxwell. What's his first name? Maxwell. I think they're all upstairs. I'm sorry, guys. I'll put in the show notes when we get finished up. But it was a great sermon. He was with the guys at Selma. He was with Martin Luther King when he was shot. It just explains what is really going on here. This is a spiritual attack on our country. This is a political attack on our country to try to divide us, to try to break us apart. Sorry, Doug, jump back in.
They, I don't know if you noticed a lot of these Antifa people running around. If you notice what they are, they're college kids that don't want to work. They're paid actors that probably still live in their mom and daddy's basements, and they don't plan on getting jobs, and they want us to take care of them and stuff. Mm-hmm. Somebody posted a video the other day that, man, I was just rolling. I had to watch it, and it was some doofus dressed up, had his face covered, and he's an Antifa guy or something. Well, apparently he's the smartest weapons guy that they had. He's a self-proclaimed.
I think that was.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
it was still funny though.
It was funny, but I think it was satire.
I don't know. It was.
I don't think it could be that stupid. Even Antifa, I don't think it could be that stupid.
Dude, I think they are. I don't know if it was fake or not. I have a tendency to believe that it was real. And he's talking about his Clock 19, and that he got one and his buddy got one, and they were twinsies or something, whatever he called it. So I don't know. But the funniest part was he was talking about his clip for his gun, and he holds it up and he says, he's showing the way the bullets have to go in. He said the bullets need to go this way, or they'll shoot back at you. He said you put the back of the bullet where the vents are. I'm like, vent. I'm like, what's he? I'm like, oh. I'm like, okay, I got you.
The vent holes are
the vent holes.
Yeah, I think he was. I think that was one of those like onion type deals where they are spoofing.
I don't know, dude. I think they're all a bunch of idiots to start with.
Well,
and I think he was just it might have been the truth. He just might have been the kingpin of the ringleader of the Antifa guys, because that's about how bright they are, actually, to me.
I tell you, there are some very intelligent people that are in that group. They're in there promoting the evil side. Okay, I think there are some evil people that are pushing their agenda. And I think there's a whole lot of dupes. Useful idiots is the communist leader. Was said useful idiots. Who was that? Trying to think back. Man, I am just drawing blanks today. Y'all forgive me. But the leader of the Communist Party, Lenin, would say that they were useful idiots. They use people to effect their means by telling them to go do something stupid that would get themselves killed. And there were known as useful idiots. That's what you've got, Antifa. That's what you've got in these paid actors running around, because they're going to get shot, like the guy got shot by a pepper bomb in the nether regions.
Yeah, that was funny too. I like that.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah. So, but he'll just make sure he wears a cup if he goes back. I would think if he learns his lesson.
It reminded me of your can cannon.
Oh yeah, that would hurt. Ooh, yeah. I need to get some pepper cans for that thing while I'm thinking about it. Okay, so what can we do? Well, what we're called to do. We're called to pray. Okay, so there's lots of things we can pray for. Specifically, let's pray for unity for a country, that people's eyes will be open to what is being attempted to be done, because the evil in this country is out for everyone to see. They're not hiding behind the D now. They're stepping out in the open, in the light, on camera, saying things that will either send you one direction or the other. And so we need to pray for unity. Pray for that people will understand what's going on, that we will unify together behind the common good of the Constitution, that all men should be treated equal, that we have certain inalienable rights that cannot be taken away from us. Those are free speech. Those are the right to own your own guns, the right to be free from unreasonable searches and seizures, and all the things that are in the Bill of Rights that protects us from this kind of what leads from this kind of behavior. When you have people, right, if they can declare martial law, they're going to wipe all your rights away, and then you're going to be under the control of the state in martial capacity, which you don't want to be, because then you're no longer a citizen, you're a slave, beholden to whatever power is enforced over you. So we pray for our unity in our country. We pray for our country as a whole. We've got a lot of crooked politicians right now on both parties. I'm going to say it.
Yes.
The Republicans that did not do what they said they were going to do and are keeping us bound to that Obamacare nation garbage, did not all the things they ran on, and they just lied, straight up lied. And so those are corrupt politicians. They need to be voted out. McCain needs to be voted out. McConnell needs to be voted out. Ryan needs to be voted out. We need these people, these sellouts, voted out. And if we can get rid of Democrats who are 100% against everything that's made this country great, I don't see any national Democrats that are doing anything. And I don't mean to make this politicized, but if you look and see who supports the Constitution and who does not, it's pretty defined. I mean, and I'm talking about Republicans too. You can see who was not protecting our Constitution, who's not upholding the oath that they swore when they took office. So pray for our country. Pray for those leaders, that God would have his way with them, that he would get them back in line, or he would get them out of the way, one or the other. Because we don't have the power. I mean, we've got the power of the vote, but if they're going to corrupt the vote, if they're going to allow people to vote that aren't supposed to be voting, if they're going to stack the rolls, as we've been seeing happen across the country in these different states, you're not going to have a true outcome of what the people's will is. And then, of course, pray for a president. I mean, he's not perfect, but he's a lot better than everything else that I've seen up there recently. Um, Pray for Congress. Pray for House, Senate. Pray for your local, state, and governorships that they would hold tight to that 10th Amendment. That anything not given power by the Constitution to the federal government is retained by the people and to the states, that they would build that firewall that would keep you protected if should the federal government go crazy and try to start enforcing federal edicts beyond their ability and scope, that these states would step up and say, that's enough. You do not have that power. You are not going to enforce that here. You're not going to abuse our people. Back off. And we need that in every level. So you need to be praying for these people at each of these levels, and then you be praying for your neighbors and praying for the country that they would turn back to God. Be praying that they would submit to the will of God, that they would know God, they would know the scripture and share it. I mean, if there's ever a time, guys, that you guys need to be out sharing the gospel, that you need to be out sharing your beliefs, it's now. Okay? Because our children are going to inherit whatever you leave behind. Okay? And if you don't do anything, and our grandchildren are going to inherit that. And I was talking to my daughter, my oldest one, this last night before last. Sit down, had a long conversation. I said, this is why I say this, and this is why I'm against that. And so I said, you're 18 now. You need to know what you're getting ready to walk into out in this world. And it's not a pretty picture that they're going to be burdened with the taxes of the selfish people, the selfish Americans who voted themselves money and benefits that they did not pay in. Now, I know I'm going to have people, I paid in my Social Security. I understand you paid in your Social Security. But they've done spent all that money a long time ago, honestly. And you didn't pay in to have free health care, and you didn't pay in to have all these benefits that they are giving out for people to vote for them. These people are selling out our children, our grandchildren, our great grandchildren, etc., going forward for votes. And if you are for that, I don't know what to say to you. I mean, you're expecting my children and your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren to pay for stuff that you didn't provide for yourself, you didn't save up and pay for. I understand that there are some who cannot, and they will not be able to pay for it. A safety net for those. But you've got more than 50% of the American population on some kind of government services. Think about that. More than half of Americans are on some kind of government services, be it food stamps, be it Medicare, all these different state-run medical co-op things. That is not fair. That's theft. I'm sorry. It's a generational theft upon the generations to come when you're $20 trillion in debt. And that's just unfunded mandates, states, unfunded mandates on the expending over 100 obligations that you're passing down to your children. It's unconscionable, it's illegal, and it should have been stopped long ago. But people of character were not in our government. We have people who are selling out access and selling out, and I'm talking about McConnell, I'm talking about Ryan, I'm talking about them right along with all the Democrats that are letting this go forward, letting all this debt build up. It's going to come crashing down. It cannot continue. It cannot go forward much longer. The only reason America's still standing is because they're printing dollars. If we didn't have a printing press as a government to print the U.S. dollar, we would have been bankrupt many years ago when we went off the gold standard back in 1973. But I'm getting way off topic. So what we need to do is pray for country, pray for our leaders, pray for our president, pray for our Congress, pray for individual state leaders, and pray for your children, your grandchildren. It's going to be a rough ride. And be ready to take care of yourselves, people, because there ain't no money in that government. That government is a false god. It's a false idol. And you got lots of people in this country worshiping that false idol in Washington, D.C. And you talking about one idol that needs to be torn down. in its current form. It should be rebuilt as it was intended with the Constitution. But I'm sorry, Doug. I just sort of ran all over the place with that one.
That's all right. You bringing it.
I'm just so tired of people acting stupid. I mean, they can't be that stupid, but sometimes I think they're just that misinformed. I think because of the education system, because of the lies of the media, because of the lies of their political champions, they just don't understand what they're really dealing with.
Dude, I can't even stand to watch the news anymore. Even Fox News has gotten to the point where I can't even stand watching them anymore.
Well, since the children took over and fired everybody that was any good, then
yeah,
that's about what you got left.
I very seldom even watch it anymore. Fox News is supposed to be a conservative station, and they jump right in with the mainstream media, and they broadcast the same silliness that they're showing on mainstream media.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know.
Yep.
It's amazing the people they put on TV to be the spokesperson for a lot of this nonsense going around these days.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad to see. It's sad to see a great country being destroyed by greed, by lies and deceit, and by crooked politicians. But that's the world we live in. God says we're not going to have any peace until He returns, and so I pray for His return, and I pray for His people to open their eyes and open their mouths and proclaim the gospel. That's what I'm praying for.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to do a couple of things here, talk about how we pay for the show. Patreon account, we got a bunch of great people over there supporting us at Patreon. If you want to help us out, patreon.com/guidingguns. Tim, Kim, Doug, our buddy Doug is listening to us right now, is up there in the top. Steve Stone, our buddy down in Tennessee, and Sharon Copeland, their top three. Steve and Shannon are tied. Sorry about that, Shannon. Other ways you can help us out is join the NRA. NRA sent me a little bit of love this week for one of you guys renewing your membership. If you're not a member of the NRA, if you're not a member of the NRA, please join. And or if you are a member and time to renew, please renew. Use our link, and it will save you a little bit of money, and they will send us a little bit of love like they did this week. Devore, DVOR. Haven't had anybody use our Devore link for a while, but I appreciate the ones that have. And just click on it. If you find something you like, you buy it, and they send us a little bit of love. And if you don't use our link, then we don't get anything. Devore is a clearinghouse for Optics Planet, and I pick up lots of stuff there that I probably shouldn't, because my wife almost got mad at me last week, so I have to be careful. I gotta be good. She's like, where'd that come from? I forgot to tell you about that one. All right, so Laser Activated Shot Reporter, LASRAPP.com. You can find out about Laser Activated Shot Reporter. It is a computer program that runs on your laptop or a computer that has a camera, and you can put you up some targets like I have behind me on the wall here, and you can set up at distance and dry fire using a laser. If I can get over there without tearing up my computer, like this SIRT pistol here, and you just aim at the target and shoot, and you identify what targets you want to use, and it will help you. It has a shot timer times time between shots, how many rounds on target. If you miss, where you're missing at, it will show you where you're hitting, where you're not hitting. It's great for practicing dry firing from your holster and things like that in the house, just helping you to be able to clear your garments out of the way, or however you're carrying off body, on body, whatever it is you're doing. You can practice that safely without having to pull a real gun. Of course, you should still practice it at the range, but you need to practice trigger control, hold that pistol still when you pull that trigger. Those things you can practice with a SIRT pistol, or you can find other laser activated devices to put in your gun and use as well. You don't have to use a SIRT, but that's what I prefer. Hoplite Armor. We are Hoplite Armor affiliate. If you need body armor, or if you would like to have body armor, or if you want to know more about body armor, go to Hoplite Armor, our affiliate. Link is in the show notes. And Zija. Zija is a product I take that has helped me lose weight, helped me get rid of a lot of inflammation in my body. And I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it, but there's a link there. If you click on it, you can see my testimony at that site. And if you want to buy the products, you can find out about that. And if you want to sell it, you can click on there and contact me. There's a contact link, and I will tell you about how to sell it. And I can put you in touch with people that will train you how to sell it. It's a bunch of great products. I use 2 of them. I use 3 of them right now, but there's dozens of great products in there. And then we've got the next 2.
Crossbreed holsters. If you're carrying a gun on your person, you should be carrying it in a Crossbreed holster. The most comfortable holster you can get, I promise you. Actually, I meant to tell you this earlier. I was in a gun store the other day, and I bought my wife a G43 for her birthday, because the 19 she thought was just too big and didn't fit her purse well, blah, blah, blah. So I took her out trying different guns, and she actually liked the Glock 43. She said, I like that. That's nice. I want one of those if I get another one. So her birthday was the other day. Happy birthday, honey. Happy I got her a G43, which I'm standing at the counter. I'm filling my paperwork out, and there's a gentleman buying a gun standing right next to me. And he asked the guy behind the counter, he goes, well, I want a good inside the waistband holster. And of course, I'm like, what? I perked up immediately. And they take him over, show him a couple holsters and stuff, and he didn't get one. So he's standing there by me. He's filling his paperwork out. And I said, hey, you want an inside the waistband holster? I got one for you. I just happen to be wearing my Crossbreed Super Tuck Deluxe with my 19 in it. So I pulled my shirt up and showed him. He gets right on his phone right then. He said, what's that website? I'm like, crossbreedholsters.com. So he goes to it right then and orders a holster online standing next to me. So
you didn't get any credit for it, man.
I know. I know. I didn't have our link on me at the time. So, but Justin, guys, we are working for you, brother. I'm just telling you. Sir. But if you want a good, comfortable holster, man, Crossbreed Holsters, go check those guys out, crossbreedholsters.com. Last but not least, Axelson Tactical. If you want a precision rifle that is just going to be, they're just awesome. Yeah. I have one. Troy has one. And I've actually got a couple buddies that have bought guns from Jeff and Axelson Tactical now. And there's Troy's in the background.
There's mine right there in the background. Lovely rifle.
Mine does not have.
Mine does not
have. Mine does not have. Yeah, mine does not have the night vision on it, but it has a nice optic on it. Either way, but I tell you what, when you got a nice precision firearm, it just doesn't work for you, man. You can tell the difference in quality, and these guys make quality guns. They also have a Glock out now. That they've started marketing. They do pistols, knives, rifles. If you have not checked them out, I know if you've been on this show and heard us talking, you've heard us talk about them, and you've seen them. We've showed them to you, did videos with them. But go check those guys out, axelsontactical.com. Use our promo code God and Guns, and Jeff will give you 10% off on us. So go check those guys out.
I keep forgetting to mention we're an Antarius Alliance media company, so we're part of the Antarius Alliance group. And if you guys have not heard of Antarius Alliance, it's the group that Ron Bellin and several of our other friends have started, and they're a marketing group that work together to promote military-owned and patriot-owned companies and services. So we are one of their we're in their group. So they invite us to activities. They let us promote things, and we're going to be having some of those guys that are in Antarius Alliance on our show in the upcoming months to let you guys know about their products. And so if you don't know, have not heard about Antarius Alliance, check them out, and I'll have a link in the show notes for you guys to find. We're going to have a table at the Try and Buy event. So if you're a buyer for a gun store or a big gun retailer, there's a special event for you in media people. So if you're gun media, there's a special event that they're going to have in conjunction at SHOT Show. And so they're going to have their own event set up outside of SHOT Show at a local range. All the details I've posted on our website or on Facebook a couple of times. To that table, my daughter Dave is going to go with though, and we're going to have shirts. I've got shirts in order. I've got little car stickers on luggage. I've got more patches coming. They're the same design, but I've got more of them because you guys bought all the other ones I've had, and so we've got that. And we just want to remember Patriot Patch Company as well. They have been that's Jake's company, and they send me the patch of the month, so we get all kinds of cool patches. I've got tons of them that they have sent. M80 firecrackers and what's this one here? Summer Soldier. Got a water pistol.
More good.
It's just lots of cool stuff they send all the time. And my kids are always fighting over them. They want the cool ones, and so Gunner and Daphne are always fighting over wanting to get some of those. I've lost a few in the battle. They've snuck away on me. But my safe wall is patch wall is completely full, so I'm going to have to hang me a patch wall like Paul and Jared's got on their walls sometime. Start hanging all these patches on because they are cool, they are creative, they're funny. So if you guys haven't checked out Patriot Patch Company, check them out. I mean, they're not an official sponsor of the show, but Jake has shown us a lot of love over the years, and so I want to repay that back. So you guys check out Patriot Patch Company, and he's going to be coming on the show here in a few weeks, explaining his departure from Firearms Radio Network and explaining what he's focusing his attention on now. So NRA Armed Citizen, what do you got, Doug?
NRA Armed Citizen this week. Robber tries to take woman's purse, flees when 57-year-old shows up with a gun at West Little Rock Shopping Center. This is by Robert Riddle. Excuse me. A gun-toting 57-year-old woman fought off a would-be robber who tried to take her purse outside a Little Rock grocery store, according to police. Officers with the Little Rock Police Department were called at 5:10 p.m. Friday to a home in the 1200 block of Briar Creek Road. There, they spoke with a victim who said that she was approached by a black male while attempting to unlock her vehicle at 4:15 p.m. outside the Fresh Market in Pleasant Ridge Town Center off Cantrell Road. The would-be robber reportedly grabbed the woman's purse while it rested on her shoulder, at which point the victim brandished a weapon she had stored inside. According to the report, the assailant then fled west. It's amazing when you pull a gun how they flee, isn't it? But the assailant fled west through the parking lot of the grocery store and behind the Belks. No items were listed as stolen from the woman. The would-be robber was described as standing 5'6" tall, weighing 150 pounds, and wearing a black hoodie. No arrests have been made at this time.
You never know where it's going to happen. It happens every day, somewhere.
The one time that you don't have your gun with you is the time you're going to need it.
Yep.
So what's that tell you? Make sure you got it with you all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Always. I mean, all the time. Why? We'll be sitting on the couch and she'll lean over on me, a rubber neck or back or something, and she'll hit the pistol and she goes, "Why you got that on?" I'm like, because 100% of home invasions happen at home.
100% of them.
And just you just have to. I just have to move on the other side, and then you just have to lay on the extra magazines.
Mm-hmm.
And so. But it's the concealed carrier. It's the gun owner's life. You're just going to be a little bit inconvenienced, hoping that you never ever have to use it. But if you have to use it, having it on you is always the best option.
Mm-hmm.
And having it in your hand is even better. But at least on holsters, crossbreed holster, you don't mind it being there, except for when your wife hits her head on it when she tries to lay down your lap or something. But or shoulder. Let's see. So that was that. Oh, we're ready to wrap it up then. Wow. Man, we're quick today.
I know.
I guess it ain't really quick. We're just just we catching up, I guess.
Catching up. That's what it is.
Thanks for all you guys that are listening live. If you're listening live, let us know and send me an email at troy@guidinggunspodcast.com. The first 3 that send me an email, I will send out some swag. I'll send you out some stickers, maybe some Patriot Patch stickers or something. I'll throw something together. So send me your email address and your name to troy@guidinggunspodcast.com. First 3 I receive will receive it. If you aren't the first 3 and I don't notify you, you didn't get it.
The first 3.
First 3. Appreciate you guys listening, and especially you guys listening live, taking the time to do that. I really appreciate it, and we appreciate your feedback. And so send your feedback to troy@guidinggunspodcast.com or
Doug@guidinggunspodcast.com.
Please tell your friends about us. Leave us an iTunes review if it's a good one. No, we'll take it all. And like us on Facebook, facebook.com/guidingguns. Subscribe and follow us on YouTube. Please do that. I think we only got like 140. We need you guys to boost that up there. You know, we want to be like Hitchcock 45. We want millions of followers. We'll probably get lots of trolls then. Subscribe to us and follow us on we're at Twitter at Guiding Guns Pod. Instagram, I try to post something over there every time I can think of it. It's been like every day or no more than every 2 days here lately. Search for us on MeWe. If you like to do gun trades, that's where you'll find me. I haven't really put a whole lot over there, but I have been doing some MeWe, and I found that a lot of the local pages on Facebook sneak guns through. So keep it on the down low. If you're really careful and you put it on there and you don't say how much it is, you can instant message. But you didn't hear that from me. Okay, so website is guidinggunspodcast.com. So until next time, Doug, have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close, but keep your Bible closer.
Good night.
Good night, guys.